Many people never tap into powerful sources of income for one simple reason. They never try. They watch others build businesses, create opportunities, change their lives, and quietly decide those people are lucky, special, different, good for them. But what they don't realize is this: luck rarely finds the observer. It finds the participant. The opportunity you think belongs to someone else might be sitting in your own notebook. It's not an idea problem, it's an execution problem. Because great things don't emerge from thinking. They emerge from trying. Harrison learned that the night his salary ran out before the month did. It was the 23rd. He was sitting in traffic outside a suburban train station. Rain tapped against his windshield. His fuel light blinked on. Again. He glanced at his banking app while waiting for the light to change. $42.17. Rent had cleared. Utilities had cleared. His car payment had cleared. What hadn't cleared was his anxiety. Harrison wasn't reckless. He budgeted, avoided unnecessary debt, packed lunch for work, and yet every month his salary ran out before the month did. He worked as an administrative assistant at a mid-sized insurance firm. Stable, predictable, respectable, insufficient. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't irresponsible. He was capped. That night, back in his small apartment, Harrison opened a drawer and pulled out a worn black notebook. Inside were 3 business ideas he had written over the past 2 years. Customized productivity planners for young professionals. Importing affordable phone accessories to sell online. A neighborhood laundry pickup service for busy families. Each idea had notes, rough math, arrows connecting possibilities. Each idea had one thing in common: it never left the page. Harrison's problem wasn't failure, it was hesitation. He would research for weeks, watch interviews with entrepreneurs, calculate startup costs, then convince himself the timing wasn't right. I'll start when I have more savings. I'll start when work slows down. I'll start when I feel ready. He never felt ready. But that night was different. After groceries and gas, he would overdraft before payday. And a quiet truth settled in. If nothing changed, nothing would change. His job wasn't going to suddenly pay him more because he needed it. So he flipped open the notebook. Laundry pickup service. No storefront, no inventory risk, no massive capital. He owned a car. His neighborhood was filled with dual-income households, busy people, people who valued convenience. He didn't need perfection. He needed movement. Instead of building a website or designing a logo, Harrison made a simple decision. He would test the idea for 30 days. That Saturday, he printed black and white flyers at a local print shop. Too busy for laundry? Pick up, wash, fold, delivered, affordable weekly plans available. No branding agency, no complicated strategy, just a phone number. He walked 3 nearby streets and slipped flyers into mailboxes. Then he waited. Monday evening, his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost ignored it. He answered. A young couple needed weekly pickup starting Thursday. Harrison hung up and stared at the wall. He hadn't built an empire. He had secured one client. But it was real. That week, he partnered with a local laundromat and negotiated a per-load rate. The margin was small, but it existed. By the end of the second week, he had 4 clients. By the end of the month, he had 9. 9 families paying for convenience. The extra income didn't make him wealthy overnight. But for the first time in years, his paycheck was no longer his only lifeline. The following month, something remarkable happened. His salary lasted. Not because it increased, because it was no longer alone. And that's when Harrison understood the real problem. It wasn't lack of opportunity, it was lack of participation. For 2 years, income had been sitting in that notebook, not because the ideas were bad, but because he never gave them a chance to breathe. He had tried to avoid risk, yet his greatest risk was depending on a single paycheck that clearly wasn't enough. 3 months in, the laundry service was covering his rent. 6 months in, it covered rent and groceries. By the end of the first year, Harrison's small side business had generated over $10,000 in revenue. A year later, he hired a college student part-time to handle pickups on weekends. What started as financial pressure became financial leverage. One evening, a coworker asked him how he knew the business would work. Harrison laughed. "I didn't know," he said. "I just couldn't afford not to try." Trying didn't guarantee success, but not trying guaranteed stagnation. Most people don't lack ideas. They lack execution. They protect comfort. They protect pride. They protect themselves from possible embarrassment. Meanwhile, opportunities sit quietly, waiting for someone willing to test them. Harrison still keeps that black notebook. But now, when he writes an idea down, it doesn't stay there long, because he learned something powerful. You don't transform your life by having better ideas. You transform it by giving your ideas a chance to breathe. Sometimes the difference between average and extraordinary isn't talent. It's the simple decision to stop thinking and start doing.